Hello, and welcome back to the GorillaBiker as we pass Stroud's that's cool. Stroud's Body Shop. And some form of radio tower. I know that's also super exciting scenery. You're welcome. Today what I want to talk about is something that Grumpy Bike Wizard recently put up a video. I'll leave a link in the description and hopefully the pinned comment if I remember. But he recently put up a video talking about his new motorcycles and all the changes he has made, etc. Farmer the Doll is in Ireland, so I'm assuming it's not pronounced that way, but anyway. But he got me thinking because it's something that I've felt over here as well. You know, he was talking about going in to look at bikes and cars and whatever else, and you know, wanting it now. And I don't think that's impatience. I think if you're going out to buy something in a brick and mortar place, you want it now. You know what I mean? We can order a lot of things online, and you know, some people are more patient than others. I'm not. When I make a decision that I want something, I want to be able to get it in like the same day if possible. You know, I'll put in the legwork to do that and all that, but I generally want to try get the thing in the same day. And so I can really appreciate when Grumpy was talking about you know, going and wanting to go in, pick a bike that day, trade in his zero and go on from there. And it's something that I have noticed over here so far is that, and this is a supply thing, we'll get to that, the choices in showrooms for motorcycles suck in my area in Greenville. Other than, in fairness, Boneyard Harley Davidson, they have a lot of stock in there, but it's all very new, all very expensive, and everything is out of my personal price range. So that's not something, you know, that's even really worth consideration for me. Not because I wouldn't want any of them or anything, I've spoken about that before, but just because it doesn't fall into the remit of my brain looking at it as a possibility because it's just too expensive. You know, I'm not saying I'll never spend that much money on something like, you know, 15 grand and up. But I probably won't, because there's so much value in the used market for me. That's kind of where I default to, and I think I'd have to earn like an astoundingly large amount more money than I currently do to even consider going to anything else. Yeah, I think that's something that I understand, and you know, it's something that I wonder about. Is it something that's an issue at the moment with bike and car sales in general? But let's focus on bikes because that's what I care about. Like for instance, it's definitely affected me buying bikes. You know, if I had X amount of cash and I walk into a showroom and they had X amount of used bikes, similar to Freeman's back at home, it's very likely I would have already bought another one. And if some other dealerships are closer, but is that something that everyone is seeing in their local area, that supply is just crap? And I don't really understand where all the bikes have gone, because obviously you're going to have a natural fallout of bikes in the market because of people crashing, because of people, you know, miling out the engine and the engine being like, I am done, goodbye. And you know, just things that are not economically viable to repair and end up being stored in a shed until they are economically viable to repair. That happens all the time. That happens with anything like that has a kind of an emotional attachment. Cars, bikes, whatever you want to call it, tractors, they're all the same. You know, they're all the same. They literally drop to a value that they're worth almost nothing, and then they steadily climb from there. So that's just oh, that's cool. That's generally how it goes. Probably haunted. I see a lot of those houses, you know, over here. I know this is off topic, but growing up watching films and whatever else made over here, or movies as they'd say, horror ones especially, they always use those kind of old houses in the country and whatever else. So now when I see any of the old kind of broken-y down ones, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Why do you have to be up so close to my ass? Do you not see the space I'm leaving? What's wrong with people? You don't need to be that close to me. Anyway, and so now when I see them, I just assume they're haunted. You know, I appreciate them as being cool, but I'm also like, yep, that's haunted. Which is kind of funny, actually. And this is still off topic, but, you know, that's how these rambles go sometimes. You know, because Europe is so much older than over here. And yes, bad stuff went on here, so maybe Native Americans did curse people, etc., and maybe that's where some hauntings come from, if that's even a thing. But a lot of bad shit went on in Europe, and a lot of bad shit was committed by Europeans over the centuries. And I'm not including Ireland in that, but you know, we were pretty good. We were actually pretty nice. We didn't do a lot of the bad shit that the rest of the Europeans did. You know, we were sound, mainly because there was another neighbour subjugating us. But anyway, that's not important. Whether or not we were given the opportunity to do bad shit, we did slightly less bad shit than other people. Not that I'm proud of that, because I had nothing to do with it either way. I can't take credit for people being nice, like I wouldn't take credit for my ancestors being shitheads. But yeah, that's something that's always interested me, is that so much of those horror films and stuff focus on you know, US-centric hauntings, when it's really more likely that a lot of those, there's a lot more hauntings in, like, you know, Europe, Africa, much older civilizations in the likes of Egypt and whatever else, the Middle East, very ancient civilizations there, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to hear more of those haunting stories as well. Yeah, film industry, make more of those ones too. I want to see those as well. But what else? Yes. Anyway, back to the supply thing, and you know, it's kind of sucked because it's made everything so expensive in general, and it was one thing that I remember I spoke about, that I was concerned about moving over here in the first place at the time I was moving, because everything was gone so expensive, just globally. Cars, bikes, rent was gone up, what else, food is more expensive right now. In general, you just have... Oh, I'm gonna die. This bike does not have the pickup that I would like it to have, but it's alright. But yeah, in general, everything is more expensive. So it was something that concerned me in the first place anyway. Now, thankfully, you know, we've been okay. We've done alright. I'm not overly concerned now. I would definitely have more bikes if things were a bit calmer, and probably slightly, well, maybe not newer cars. I would have probably just paid less for the cars, which would have been nice. Oh yeah, you're insane. Okay, that's normal. Anyway, that's something we'll talk about at a later date. A lot of people ask me, are like American drivers worse? They're not. Irish drivers are also bad, but we'll talk about that another time. Yeah, besides, that's something that's affected other people in their bike buying habits. Like, that's one thing I've really noticed over here, is that used sports bikes are so expensive, which kind of feeds on from one of my last videos about the GSX-R 1000. You know, I'd love to buy a sports bike. I'd love to buy more used bikes, but there's just not the value there for me. You know, I have a very firm opinion on what stuff's worth. And sports bikes with 25,000 miles that are from the mid-2000s are just not worth $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I'm sorry, they're just not, ever. Not now, not tomorrow, never. Because pretty much none of them look like they've been looked after as well. And I don't know, are they just going off Facebook Marketplace, whatever else, or are they actually selling? But if they're selling, then my god. You know, do what Dan bought a GSX-R 600, and like, it's a beautiful bike and it looks in pretty good condition, but I wouldn't have spent what he spent for it. And you know, I don't think I would. Maybe if I saw it in person, I would have been like, oh yeah, I want that. I love how I overtook that car that was going slowly, and they've just sped up to match me. They're at least staying further behind me than other cars, which is what really I cared about. I just don't want people up my ass, which is why I overtook them, because crazy car was up my ass too far. Anyway, so yeah, that's something I'm interested in looking at, or knowing has anyone else had that feeling of being, you know, or being attempted to be ripped off? You know, tires are more expensive and everything else. I really hope that the whole thing settles down at some point in the future, because yeah, it sucks. I don't like how expensive everything is right now. Although really the only thing I'm actually concerned about is bikes. Everything else can stay as expensive as it likes. I don't really... Ooh, I kind of want to go down there. I don't really care. I don't really care about everything else. I just want... I want bikes to come back to a more normal cost point so I can buy more of them. Because, you know, I want to be able to bring my friends over here and I'll give them all bikes to use. No, that's how you lose people. You take a corner. I don't know corners here. We got rid of them. They're back further now. And you know, that's something that, yeah, I'm concerned about, because I obviously want to buy. I want to continue what I was doing and buying older bikes and, you know, having fun on them. But yeah, right now, don't see the value there. Don't see the value there at all. And it's also making it harder to buy stuff to fix this bike up. You know, a lot of things are out of stock. I did find a Ventura luggage rack that's made to order, so that's cool, and I'll probably order one of them because it's pretty affordable, and it'll just let me get my bag off my back and strap it onto that, which would be nice. And you know, they also make saddlebags and stuff, so who knows, maybe I'll kit out this bike and even forget about buying any of the bikes and just tour on this, which is, you know, it's unlikely. But unfortunately, Toaster had to fly home for an extended period of time for reasons. So this bike is, I can just use this whenever I want now, so maybe I won't buy another one. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look, a big lake. A man-made lake, by the looks of it. Caution mowers. Yeah, you wouldn't want to hit that with an exposed shaft on it. You have to mind those exposed shafts. Also, Stephen, you were asking where the traffic is. Well, here it is. I found it on this road. So I am never riding home on this road again. This road sucks. Not only was it longer, it sucks. It's probably because it's more a main road. You live and you learn. But yeah, this road sucks. It's too busy and it's too crap. It's too straight. It's too boring. Some more interesting views that I had not ridden past in a while. I think I drove past most of here before. But this is boring. I mean, you have a nice house, sir, but your road is boring. That's a fine field, but the road alongside it is boring. Do you know you're about to turn onto a boring road? Your truck isn't boring though, it's just smashed a bit, but it's a cool truck. Like, look at, oh, it's just so boring. Why? I don't know. I mean, I get why the roads were built this straight over here, I do. Because, you know, the economy of movement and everything else, you want to get stuff to where it's going faster. It's also cheaper because you're not decelerating and accelerating. And that's a problem. You know, back to the bike thing, back to the supply thing. Too many accountants are making decisions. There's not enough emotion involved with the decision-making process anymore. And that sucks. Put the emotion back into decisions and life will be more fun. And I'm not trying to be all philosophical about this, but like, if someone was like, hey, let's build a road, and you brought in someone who owned a motorcycle, I guarantee you that road would be fun. Whoever built this road was like, hey, how much do I have to do it? And they said, you have $100,000 to build the road. And you have 2 weeks to do it. And I want you to make it as emotionless as possible. And this is what they came out with. It's like, oh, we had to put a kink in the road up here to avoid that tree. Otherwise, make it straight. And if there is something in the way, get some dynamite and blast it out of the way. Thank you, truckers. I agree. Truckers are generally nice. They bring things places, and then I can buy those things. And that's another thing, actually, on the supply thing, is, you know, it's funny because since moving over here, it's you know, the same. There's a lot of stuff in Ireland that after, you know, lockdowns and whatever else, and people being out of work, they couldn't get employees anymore. People didn't want to do that job anymore, which, you know, I understand. There's a lot of jobs I wouldn't want to do. I'm not gonna say that people are wrong to try for better stuff or stuff that they feel suits them more. I'm not gonna say better, because I think there's a job for every person. There's a A key for every lock? Does that fit? I don't know, does that fit? That's maybe the wrong statement. But you know, there's something for everyone, and I think that's something that, you know, a lot of people didn't know. Were they on the right track, so they changed, and over those lockdowns they had the time to consider, the time to make those changes, and a lot of them did. And I know over here it's the exact same. People they're just finding it hard to staff places, which I found very interesting, because I also want to know, like, how long can you survive on savings and payments and whatnot? I don't know. Whoa! Why? Okay, they saw it. Oh, it's weird. Anyway, that's kind of my weird ramble that went other places on the way home. Let me know, are you someone like Grumpy Bike Wizard and myself? You want to walk into a showroom and you want to, you know, see bikes in front of you if you're going to buy one. And that's something, you know, I would say is, if there's no stock there and I go there, I'll probably try another place next. You know, Cycle Max in Wilson had more stock. I would go back there before I went to Ron Ayres here in Greenville, for instance. They're 15 minutes further away, but I'd sooner go there and actually look at bikes, because that's one thing is, as well as on that whole supply front, I like looking at bikes. You know, I want to walk in somewhere and just peruse what they have. I want to walk around and be like, there's a bike there, look, that's a bike right in front of me. Oh, it has a fuel tank, and oh, look at that handlebar, and you know, I want to do that. It's a tactile thing. You want to see the bike, you want to feel the bike. Maybe you want to sit on the bike and see how it feels. All of that stuff's really important, and I really hope we don't lose that in you know, the Tesla-fied supply chain. You know, you know, you order it and it comes here and then you can have it. You don't get to try anything. There's no test rides anymore. Everything is really corporate, medical grade. You know, for instance, all of those like release videos that brands do, that everyone has to go on the same ride. They all hop on their bikes at a predetermined time. They ride with the person. They do the things, and it's just really sterile. That's the word I was looking for. It's just really sterile. Oh, that hurt, whatever it was. And that kind of, I don't like that. I don't like that about the supply chain. Like I said, I like it because bikes are an emotional thing. Sports cars are an emotional thing. All that stuff, you want to see them in showrooms. Now, I got caught here yesterday for 6 minutes, so I am taking a shortcut through here. And I don't care if I'm not supposed to do it, because that was absolute bullshit yesterday. I literally was stuck at that traffic light for 6 minutes trying to turn left, because it's not a green light traffic light, it's a yellow flasher, so you have to wait till there's space. And I didn't like it, and it really annoyed me, so I'm not doing it again. Now, there you go, I said it, I'm not sorry, fight me. Let me know your thoughts on my rambles. Let me know your thoughts on supply chain. Let me know your thoughts on stock in showrooms. Is it an important part of you making a decision to purchase a motorcycle? I know it is for me, and I know it is for Grumpy Bike Wizard, and that's enough for me to say I'm right, because he's smart and stuff, probably. Anyway, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. You're all legends, and thank you for joining me again for the commute home. Don't worry, in the hopefully very near future, we'll start to do more explores at weekends and everything else. At the moment, I'm just still getting set up in this country, so that's why we haven't seen more of that. But I have plans, and obviously next year sometime, Toaster will be out on this bike with me, and we'll be going places. Now, while she'll be on this bike, I'll hopefully be on another one, and we'll start going places and showing you new things. Anyway, like I said, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Someone messaged me and said I should put an exhaust system on this. Would you do it? I don't think I will. I kind of like how it sounds. It's stealth, and also I don't think Toaster would like it. Anyway, bye outro crew. That was terrible, outro crew. I'm gonna not finish it there. Do you think that quiet bikes are okay, or do you have to have a bitey, barky exhaust? Yeah, there we go. Let me know. Would you put one on this? Like I said, I probably won't, because Toaster might not like it. And yeah, is it a must-have for you? Do you have to have a shouty exhaust on your vehicle? Let me know. Bye, Outro Crew.